All right, we ready for this? Does everybody have... You going? Okay. Everybody should have out their white density project write-up form. This is your first of 3 or 4 write-ups in the class. Probably the most difficult because it's your first one. We're going to go through it and then show you some demos. So on the first page, you're going to notice it talks about, number 1, important notice. And we've gone through this year after year about the indent, and people worry about it a lot. Basically, what I want this to look like is something professional. You're going to hand this in. You think that you're going to apply for a job. You want it to look nice. Don't have it indented and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Make it look nice. That's pretty simple, the first part. Then, title page, cover, put some graphics, a nice, appropriate title. Can be funny, but school appropriate. Color, maybe some bonus points. And that's pretty easy. Follow A, B, C, D, E, and F is accidentally taken off. And it goes to G. Next, problem. In this section, you'll write the problem in question form, conveying to the reader what you are trying to answer. And your 8 hypotheses. Where are our 8 hypotheses? They're on that yellow sheet. So we have that. Maybe you write a little note down there. Yellow sheet. Now, I'm not going to go through every little thing on this, but you can see it says sample procedure. In this section, you'll have 3 parts. And it's telling me, how did you do the mass and volume using the wet method for the aluminum, the unknown metal. Part 2, how did you do it for one of the 2 liquids, rubbing alcohol or half and half, and the caliper method. Now I'll give you, if you flip the page, good examples and bad examples of that. And I won't run through all of that. Going down to data in the bottom of page 2. This section will contain 2 parts. Number 1, complete the density data table with correct sig figs for all substances used in the experiment. You guys have just finished that. You got the CO2 done and everything. Those of you guys at home, you should have already done that. Now it says enter your data or your density data directions and graphing your lab sections. This is your goldenrod packet. So this is Mr. Foss's way of being super nice. Step by step how to enter this. Into your Logger Pro. You will have to download or get it from Blackboard. The number sheet, which is exactly like, I'm going to steal this from you, your data sheet you have. Now, this goes to my thing about following directions. 60% of the school, when they got their new computers, did not follow the directions on this wonderful sheet that you got. So if you did not follow the directions accordingly, you stopped, you got to the internet. Good, I got to the internet. I can get on Facebook or the Twitter or whatever. You will try to download the copy you're typing in, and it will go to the preview mode. It will open up in preview. Well, that means you cannot type it in. If that's the case, you need either to see tech support or see me. I'll give you this sheet of paper or I'll help you through it. But 60% of the school did not do this correctly, follow all the directions. They stopped right there. So that's something you may want to look at. So that's how you find and use your data. Accept or reject, pretty simple. Hey, you're going to find out how well you did on this. Was the lemon less than the rubbing alcohol, so forth. And it's okay if your data is right or wrong. You just want to answer it correctly. Possible errors. I give you one possible error. A small amount of water splashed out when we put the PVC cylinder into the graduated cylinder. What would happen to that density? Would it go up or would it go down, and why? I like to always say this. You're thinking what's happening to the mass, what's happening to the volume. You have to do another one. Notice the big box. We will not accept math errors. Honors chemistry, we don't make math errors, or we double check. Ooh, this is a great question going down. Intensive or extensive? I've had this a lot. This is in our notes. What is density? Is it intensive or extensive? I'll give you a hint. One is saying it does matter how much mass you have. One is doesn't matter. And I gave the example of a twig you put in the ocean. Does it float? Or if you throw a big tree in the ocean, does it float? Does it matter the mass? Unknown metal. You can follow the directions there. Nothing big. Precision and accuracy. Let's see how good we did. You'll follow along here. Let's see right now how we did. If you look on the middle of the page, on your left, the one apple, use 0.0017 as the value of carbon dioxide. Who came close to that? Did you on TV come close to that? Hopefully. That's why we got those check-off stamps, check-offs for it. Go through this. Application, post-lab demos. If you are doing this with a partner, as it says, you will explain 4 of the demos I'm about to explain. If you are doing it by yourself, you only have to do 2 of the demos. I'm not going to go through a whole lot more, but page 5, we've already talked. This is the part that you have to do by yourself, partner or not. You have your real-world application written down. Some of us have body fat percentage, some of us saline solutions. One of my favorites, solid smoke. It's the least dense solid known to man. They use it in spacecrafts to collect comet dust. But the big thing here is that it's 500 words. And I'm not going to count every single word. 500 words should be easy, but just get approximately 500 words. And the last thing that each of you have to do if you're doing it as a partner is an addendum. Now, I like these to be kind of entertaining because after reading 110 of them, I don't want them all boring. You can make them jokes, you can make them rhymes, but I want to know how chemistry's going. I want to know how you feel about it. How's that iBook treating you? Have you even looked at the iBook? Where are you at in this class right now? And on the back, gives you some data tables that will help you. Now, this project, if you've looked on your calendar, it has a long due date. So some kids will wait till the last minute and throw it off. I suggest not. Start doing it in pieces. It is due, probably write this on the top, it is due Friday, September 19th. Now, for us go-getters, and to help me start grading before the long weekend, I will give you 5% bonus if you hand it in Wednesday the 17th. Okay? Now, let's flip back. I think it's to page 4 or around there, maybe on the bottom of page 5. I'm going to explain some density demos to you, or you're going to help me explain them.